Hi everyone, it's Matt here with another video on how we cope with these times of social isolation. And I just want to take a moment to talk about communication. And just like before, there's a lot we can learn from nature about how we communicate in times like this. For a long time, the trees that I'm surrounded by at the moment, we used to think of them as just individual beings that would just grow where they landed and then live their life and then die. But since then we've realised through science and lots of research that trees actually communicate with each other. There's lots of communication that happens underneath the ground, through the roots, through the sharing of nutrients, and where trees are too far apart to do that, then fungi will grow in between them and join those roots together. So sugars and carbohydrates and all sorts of nutrients can be shared between the trees, so when one tree is struggling, another tree will help that tree out. But there's also communication that happens above the ground as well. So for instance, say this tree to my left here was being attacked by a swarm of insects. What it would do to protect itself is it would release what we call phytoncides into its trunk. And those phytoncides are mixtures of essential oils. In this instance, the phytoncide would have an insecticide property. It would protect itself from those insects. But not only would it release it into its trunk, it would also release it into the air around it through its leaves. So the trees surrounding that tree, through their receptors, would pick up that, oh, there are insects in the area at the moment, we need to protect ourselves as well. So then this tree over here would then release that same phytoncide into its own trunk to protect it from the potential impact of those insects. So trees communicate in multiple ways. And during this time when lots of us are locked down at home, I think it's really important that we learn to communicate in multiple ways as well. Give people a phone call. Use the technology that we have, FaceTime, Skype and Zoom, things like that. Send letters, write notes and post them in your window to communicate to your neighbours. Write notes in chalk on your road as people drive past. Whatever way you can think of to communicate, do that. Remember, it's actually physical distancing at the moment, not social distancing. So we can be physically apart from each other, but we can still be socially connected, just like the trees.